5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's time to count down reality TV's most talked about moments with Amanda Bella. Hey everybody, welcome back to Bella Talks TV. It's Amanda Bella here. And I'm so excited that there's a lot going on in the world right now. I haven't been here to talk to you guys in like 2 weeks, so I have to catch you up on a lot. But we all are a little bit aware of what is going on. And this is not a politics podcast, but what is going on with the tariffs and the situation going on. And so I'm like, you know what? My husband and I both were like, it's a good time to upgrade and get any items that we might need before we don't know if this world's about to go into collapse again. I mean, I love a good conspiracy theory from, here and there. But if we are going to be having any type of like lockdown again or Great Depression era level of being home a lot, social distancing again, we have no idea what's going to happen again in the future. So I'm like, let me make sure that I'm ready this time, because one of my biggest regrets was not starting the podcast back during the pandemic, because that's when I started the Instagram page and really got into like creating my own content instead of just consuming. But I really wish I would have leaned in more. And even though it's been a year and a half now since I started the podcast, I have so much more still that I've been trying to ramp up and been promising for a long time. And it's been hard. Okay, I've gotten married, I've moved, I've had a lot of other travel that has happened. If you've been here following me since day one, if you're new to the page, into the pod, I have to just say and get out of the way a little bit of housekeeping that I hope you're following me on Instagram, on TikTok, and on my YouTube. I am going to be, if you're here watching the video, I am going to be adding graphics and also going to be adding a soundboard to the show, as well as promised, adding some new guests that are going to be in the rotation. So it's going to be I kind of think about it as like a road to BravoCon, like the Bella Talks TV ramp up. So I had to kind of take a mental break. I had to take a physical break from the pod for a couple of weeks. Bravo has been in a little bit of a dark age, which of course I would argue that if you look back, you can always find dark things have been happening on this network since day one. So it's not like it's something new to be dealing with dark energy on Bravo, but we have so many other shows to talk about and so many other things in the reality TV entertainment sphere that we need to discuss, because I'm not going to do my normal top 5 countdown. So again, if you're new here, usually I do an OMG and LOL moment of the week and then a top 5 countdown of reality TV's most talked about moments. But we're not going to do the top 5 today because again, I just got this new computer and I only have a little bit of time here to just record something fast and check in with you guys. So I went on a break for my 1-year wedding anniversary. We went on a vacation, on a cruise, which was my first time. And I was deathly afraid of being seasick because I'm somebody who can barely even like be in a car, ride in a train or anything without feeling like I can't look at my phone. I can't look down. I can't read when I travel. Like I have to just so I went to my primary care physician and I was like, can you please prescribe me something that just in case if I do get sick on this boat, like I'm not gonna, So she did prescribe me some Zofran or something for like nausea, if that were to happen. But I was taking it preventatively. Just, this is not a show again about medical advice, but I definitely learned my lesson, like to only take something if I'm actually feeling symptoms of something and not just be taking random medication that I've never taken before on a boat, so I did have one small trip to the medical facility on the cruise, which was so scary because I am a Titanic girly. That movie came out when I was in 6th grade, formed who I am today. I think about the Titanic every single day. So if you're like me, like going on my first cruise, it was just, I had my moments where I was just like, I'm okay, I'm good. But it was a phenomenal trip and I did get the break that I needed to be able to like take a lens and come back. Now I was thinking originally like it was going to be like when I go to Costa Rica or when we've gone to Europe, like you don't get to always have Peacock or your shows regularly. And I actually still, funny fact, that I am going to be turning 38 soon and I'm married, but I'm still on my parents' like cable and I use their Spectrum app. So that's how I'm able to watch everything live, because even with me and my husband, he uses like streaming for all of his sports stuff. And I don't even know, we don't watch really like the local news. So we don't have like we don't have cable here in New York. Like I just use my parents' app. We stream or have certain certain channels that we're able to like do live through some of the streaming apps and stuff. So he pretty much watches just sports or news, and I just watch reality TV. So it's very simple for us to just function. Like, I'm not somebody who watches cable television really, like anything besides The Bachelor. I mean, but that's on Hulu. So there's really not a ton of stuff. Gypsy Rose, I'm able to get that through the Lifetime app, which thank God I again have my parents' Spectrum because I'm able to connect that up and like link it. So I am able to watch all the content on there too. But as far as watching live, like it's very easy. It's not like I have my Bravo through Spectrum. Like I'm good. I'm able to catch up on everything else. Instead of doing my traditional countdown today, I wanted just to run through some like headlines about reality TV that have been going on lately. Because again, like I was kind of saying with the Spectrum and the Peacock and stuff, like going on vacation, some shows I could see, sometimes I couldn't get them live, depending on like where we were on the cruise. So I missed some things. I had to catch up when I got back. I was trying to give myself some time to like really think about it and like also like cool down again. And also like I am just so turned off by like the Paige and Craig drama in the Summer House and Southern Charm and like everything airing at the same time has been like too much for me. And I really needed to just like escape from that for a little while. And we'll get into some of the other headlines. But just to give you a rundown, this is going to be like a random reality catch up with you guys. So let's run through some Page Six headlines. That is, you know, being a New York based person, I love Page Six. Page Six is like sometimes the unspoken housewife, or like Watch What Crappens would call it, social media, who's like the unseen housewife in every group. And Page Six is kind of like that girl. I definitely know Page Six is biased as hell, but I sometimes like that, and I think that makes the articles like more interesting on who they decide to like use to have interviews with and who they decide to like not acknowledge. And you'll see some like repeats. But okay, so let's just run through a few. So we're gonna start with Sami Sheen having her car repossessed. Even though she makes millions on OnlyFans every year, she's reported up to make like $3 million so far on OnlyFans. And again, I've talked previously in my last episode about Denise doing OnlyFans and with her daughter and kind of how I think about all of that. So go listen to my latest episode if you didn't. You will kind of get my full opinion on that. But I enjoyed watching this season of Denise Richards and Her Wild Things. I wasn't sure at first because Denise really kind of comes off as a slob kebab. Like, remember when Dolores was like, a fucking slob? Like, apparently calling somebody a slob is a really bad insult, but she is kind of like sloppy sometimes. Sloppy drunk, sloppy just with not her having no filter, her showing up with upside down jackets. I mean, she's just kind of a little slob kebab. And I actually like her. She's kind of harmless to me, but I knew would be making good reality TV with her own TV show, and her whole family is on there. They even had Charlie to pop in on this latest episode, and he seems, you know, lucid at least. And I wouldn't say he seems like he's like in a great place. Like, he just has a very weird personality in general. So I don't know. I kind of like do get the chemistry between him and Denise, and like seeing them film together, I can kind of, they must have had a very, she kind of seems like she is actually more of the alpha in all of her relationships, which I find interesting. So, okay. So I'm not surprised at all that, you know, she's got Erin on there, big dick Erin from Real Houses of Beverly Hills, and all of his interactions with the ladies over there, and all of the, you know, I used to work for some chiropractors in Chicago that really taught me about big pharma. And, you know, it can be like a little bit of a cult for sure, and very like it is such a weird, very weird environment that chiropractors work in. So I learned a lot over like the many years that I worked for these types of companies when I was living in Chicago. And I know how Erin is thinking that he like has this clinic that is all holistic and the doctors want to like close them. It can be a very like paranoid feeling, because you do feel, I think there's always like a little piece of you that like knows you are full of shit. And like, no offense to any chiropractors listening, I'm so sorry, but like, you know, like I said, I have a little bit of an opinion after working in that field for so long with them. And I still see chiropractors, like I still go to the chiropractor. I'm not saying, it's just the idea that it solves everything including even like mental health. It's very crazy. So I can see how Erin has been sucked into this world of like living where people are coming after him. But luckily he didn't get very much into that this season. He just seems like he's very supportive of Denise. He doesn't get jealous. He helps her take all of her photos. He helps her with her makeup and her hair when she goes on red carpets. You know, he seems like a very supportive husband. So she's got all these dogs. She's got the daughter with the special needs. Charlie Sheen is the ex. Like, he puts up with a lot that comes with Denise. And I don't know, I'm kind of a little bit of an Erin fan. So then we have Sami and Lola, the daughters. And Sami, she comes off again. Like I talked about this in my last episode. I love that she's like a little raver chick. I love that she's like a little, empowered by her OnlyFans sex work. Like, I actually am kind of into it for her. She's definitely Gen Z and like represents a lot of what I feel like that generation stands for and believes in. So she was like a good representative. And then I'm not sure how much younger Lola is. I don't think that much younger, because I think Denise said Sami was maybe, toddler years when Lola was born, and then she got divorced from Charlie while she was pregnant with Lola. I love little Lola. I was so much like Lola, you guys. Like, you have no idea, from the time that I was like probably 17 till I was like 18 and a half, 19, like a good year and a half, almost 2 years, that I spent transitioning from high school into my first year of college. I was extremely Christian. I was involved in like mega churches. I had church friends, and I would be mad if people were like using drugs around me. And like, I definitely went through a phase, like just like Lola. And I'm very curious. Like, I like to watch girls that like are kind of like Mariah from Welcome to Plathville, which, oh my gosh, we have to talk about that next, like, mental reminder. But when Mariah was also like starting to rebel and get older and was like, okay, I'm like, I don't believe in any of this stuff. Then she got like the rebel tattoo, and she's all covered in tattoos now. She does her hair black. She has red lip. Like, she's just so different now than when she was very Christian. Like, I love kind of watching people having like their spiritual awakenings. So I'm curious about the future of Lola. She's like such a little cutie patootie right now, and she seems so innocent and adorable. But I wonder what will break her, if ever. Not that I'm hoping for that, but it almost seems inevitable sometimes. So her and Sami could not be different. And I enjoyed the show. It was an easy watch for me. They were like 22-minute episodes. I found all of her friends and family to be very interesting. She also did so many scenes with other housewives, ex-housewives. I enjoyed her sit downs with Erica and Camille, showing up for Garcelle's movie premiere. I thought it was a great season. So I think that she'll get a season 2, which, wow, good for her. Good for her. So let's move right over to just talk briefly about what happened in Welcome to Plathville. It's not one of the Page 6 headlines, but if you guys do watch that show, and like, please tell me, you'll promise me you'll at least try. It is very slow, but that works for a lot of people. If you like to watch like a very, very slow car crash, start season 1, episode 1 of Welcome to Plathville. Okay, so Welcome to Plathville. It's about a very Christian, again, why I love this show. It's a very Christian family growing up in the South in Georgia. As the kids get older, there's 9 of them, I think. They all become, in their own relationships. They all experiment with different things. They all go through, and there's still like 4 kids living at home. And I can't get into like all of the lore of Welcome to Plathville right now, but there were a few kids still living at home. So like, they're not even, and Kim and Barry are divorced now, and Kim was living on a boat last time we saw her. Okay, there's just a lot going on. And at Lydia's wedding, so Lydia was like the 5th youngest daughter in the family. She just recently got married. She's extremely Christian still. She had this little closet she used to pray in with all these little prayers over it. Like, she literally only talks about God and her relationship to God. Like, that's her whole personality. She met a guy, though, equally Christian. They just got married. And at the wedding, there was a big brawl. And there was a physical fight where one of the youngest boys, I think the youngest boy actually, Isaac, gets into a fight with Micah, who's like the super pretty model one that moved out to LA that Andy's had on Watch What Happens Live, like the only Plath that's been on the show. Because, I mean, I don't know if he necessarily gay baits, or if he is actually bisexual, or if he just goes and like if he's gay for pay. Like, I don't want to allegedly say anything about Micah, but there's something there. And so Andy, I think, was very intrigued by like his personality and him being a model and all this stuff. But okay, there was a huge fight between the two of them, and it was so bad, I guess, the younger brother beating up Micah, that he almost lost his nose. Like his nose was almost ripped from his face. I guess they were able to like save it, but holy shit. Micah, I mean, like I said, he was the pretty one. Like he was a literal model. So I can't believe that this happened to him. I'm sure his like career is going to be over now because of this. This is huge news. And I'm like, I'm sure cameras were up for this. So let's see what you got, TLC. Let's see what you got. So let's go back to page 6 over here. The next headline is about Kelly Farrell from Real Housewives of Atlanta, the new season, new housewife. We've just met her 4 episodes ago. She's new on the scene. She is the waffle queen. I'm really into Kelly so far. Okay, first of all, she is tiny. And she went on Watch What Happens Live and she is 5 foot nothing. Snooki's only 4'8" or something. Tiny. So Kelly just looks so small next to all these ladies filming. She just is fun size, as she says. I'm really into her so far because, okay, she has 4 daughters and with her ex-husband, and he was physically abusive to her, and he also threatened to kill her in court. They had to hold him in contempt of court. She taking care of her daughters. It's giving Juicy Joe getting deported and Teresa stepping up to take care of her 4 daughters, the daughters. It's giving, she's a fantastic cook and has franchises, chicken and waffles, whatever's going on there, the waffle queen. She refuses to like give up on her business. She's fighting to the death. He apparently drained all of the company money. She had to like sue her ex. I love that she doesn't drive and she owns a Sprinter van that is branded like Kelly's Waffles or whatever. And that's how she gets around with all the daughters and all of her friends. And she's just sitting in the back, eating a McDonald's Happy Meal, watching shit on her iPad. And she just moves like a boss. I'm really into Kelly. I like her so far. So, of course, it's a little too early to tell as far as the actual show goes. I'm not sure if she's going to do something that's going to make us all not like her so much. But I am excited and intrigued to watch her. So everything else that's going on Real Housewives of Atlanta with Britt and Kenya, I don't like either of them. I've never been a Kenya fan. I think Kenya peaked when she did Gone with the Wind Fabulous, and it's been all downhill since then. She should have never married Mark. I know that she wouldn't have Brooklyn then, but I don't know. Kenya gives me Lindsay Hubbard vibes in the sense that like, okay, I didn't have a relationship with my mom, so I'm going to have a daughter now, and it's just going to like automatically heal all the toxicity in my life. And I'm just hoping that she's really breaking cycles and not just giving generational trauma, because we don't know yet. It's too soon to know yet. These are babies. They're not adults yet to see like how they grow up and what goes on and how the relationships were going to unfold. Again, this is not what I wish upon them. I'm just saying I've got my eye on both of them. Same with Lala, like all these people that have all these traumas. It's like, okay, that like couldn't have children kind of out of a little conservative and old school, like love and marriage, God forbid I'm somebody who still believes in getting married and having kids in like the right way. Sorry. Again, I do have some hot takes on here. I do have some, at times, I've even called my own misogyny out. It's like, I just keep it real with you guys. I'm not going to ever just pretend to be some like wildly educated and perfectly socially liberal feminist. It's like, I live in reality. So sometimes some things happen. But anyways, I love the way that Kelly has stuck up for what I think is right in the moment. She left with Britt from the opening when they all noticed that Kenya was about to like go left on her. She left with her friend who she came with. It's giving Dolores being like, hey, I rode with you. I have to leave with you over in Jersey. So I like that like old school mentality that Kelly's kind of bringing. Like she's comes off like a girl's girl to me. And, Kenya was the opposite for me. She totally lost me. I knew she was capable of going that low. I think she has gone this low in the past. And one thing about what's going on with Kenya is she's used other people's bad behavior to justify what she's doing. She's like, okay, well, Portia did this. Well, Candy did that. Phaedra did this in the past. Yeah, but you can't, like, 2 wrongs don't make a right. You can't be like, okay, what they did was worse. You should be holding yourself to a higher standard. You shouldn't be just trying to compete with the past drama and the past attacks that have happened on these shows and being like, yeah, well, I didn't go like as hard. That's not like the gauge to use. You kind of have to like really use your own common sense and your own emotional intelligence to be like, okay, this is like not a good look. It wasn't good for the salon. It wasn't good for baby Brooklyn, who the entire like ceremony and salon is dedicated to. It just, Kenya being like, oh, Britt's taking money out of my child's mouth. Like, no, Brittany never did that. That had nothing to do with Brooklyn. Like, you're actually harming that. So, okay, again, it's another controversial thing you hear me say on here. Like, mothers don't just automatically get a pass. Like, we got to hold mothers accountable too. And that's how we do help prevent. Sometimes they need outside perspectives, especially women that like aren't in therapy, that just have yes people around them. Like, even when Kenya was spiraling, crashing out, she was still saying her taglines, like, don't come for me, clacking the fan. And then the whole room being like, unless I send for you. Like, it's kind of this, it's giving kind of like Dorinda too, when like Dorinda got on pause. It was like too much of playing a character, too much of wearing the self merch, saying their own taglines, and then also having these like internet people like around at these events that are fans. I don't know. She got lost in the sauce there. So that was my official opinion about Atlanta. I'm also loving Angela Oakley. She's giving me old school housewife vibes. She's giving me older lady, rich, married to celebrity vibes. I'm here for it. Really, really loving her. Okay, so the next headline is Freak Gypsy Rose Blanchard makes TMI confession about Ken Urker's sex life. So you guys, Gypsy is back. Gypsy is going Gypsy down on the bayou. Okay, I am loving this season. It's giving, okay, it's not ever going to be as good as season one. Season one peaked. It's really, really, really hard to follow up that season of reality TV. It was a perfect season of reality television last year. So if you have not been watching Gypsy and you haven't given it a chance, the whole first season is on Peacock now. So you don't have to have Lifetime. You don't have to have cable to download it. Go on your Peacock app and start watching Gypsy. So, okay, Gypsy in this recent episode, I can't recap like everything that's happened so far, but we can just roll up on into this latest episode. So we're hating Ken, right? Like, we all agree. Like, when Ryan does the polls, red for Ken, blue for Ryan, like, we're all blue for Ryan, right? So Ryan's not going to be in this season as much, but like, thank God they find a way to work him in every single episode so far, because I need my Ryan and Pixie fix every episode. One of the best parts of this entire season so far has been the debate between whether or not Ken was going to be the father of Aurora, or if we thought maybe there's a possibility Ryan was going to be. Now, because of what happens in the latest episode, Gypsy gets the blood DNA results and she posts them to Instagram even before she's able to talk to Ken, because Ken's at work. And apparently when Ken's at work, like, he's unable to take a phone call. Like, he's like a freaking heart surgeon, which I think we all know that he's just like a bartender somewhere there in Cutoff. It's not like he's bartending some Times Square happy hour, bar in New York City. I don't understand why it's so hard for him. He can't like take a phone call ever when he's working, but allegedly he's unable to answer the phone. She's like, whatever, I'm posting these results anyway. She does it, even though Ken has been telling her, like, quit playing into social media, quit posting all of this drama online that people are gonna like roast you for. She even last night was just posting that her page just got verified with the blue check. Like, she is obsessed with her social media image and her being an influencer. So she loves to do a sound over video. She loves to do a trend video. She loves to do a what I'm wearing. She loves to do just all of these like day in the life, like, follow me here. Like, I love Gypsy, even her voice. I love Gypsy from every choice that she makes in life to just down to her voice. And in this latest episode, she's talking about how she hasn't really been that sexually active with that many men, and how she hates, she's been labeled as like a loose woman. And I mean, these are all direct quotes from her. And let's just review quickly why Gypsy thinks that she's a freak. So she used to do like webcam videos and dress up like a suicide girl, which if you guys don't know, if you know, you know. But they kind of dress up like gothic, like little gothic, like sexy gothic stripper vibes. And then she used to also do that with cosplaying, like, think if you're going to Comic-Con, like sexy girl from Star Wars, sexy Disney princess, sexy Rainbow Bright, like kind of these different characters and like doing them sexy and like doing videos online for like men. So that was kind of how she got started. Remember, she like had to like sneak having a Facebook page, sneak having any type of social media because her mom didn't allow her to have it. And remember, like Gypsy was 23, I believe, when she participated in the unaliving of her mother. And she was being forced to be in the wheelchair, and she was a full adult. Like she had needs, she had urges, she had questions. And to keep the con going, Dee Dee was forcing her to like stay in this childlike, like going to Disney World, dressing up as Cinderella for like your 21st birthday and telling everybody it's really only your 18th birthday and lying about your age. And there's a lot to unpack there. Okay, so Gypsy really, I think, found ways to become sexual. And one of the first ways, if you guys watched all the documentaries like I did, like I've seen every single piece of media that's ever came out about this girl, she has a lot of history. Like she had partners, okay? Her first boyfriend that she met online, Nick, that was the one that helped, again, participate in what happened to Dee Dee. And he's serving a life sentence for this now. He is on the autism spectrum. And I think Gypsy, I don't blame her for not being aware of that, because I think that there's tons of people, especially the way that she grew up, like in the South, a lot of people don't recognize that. They're just like, oh, that boy's slow. Like he's a little different. Like they don't really see the diagnosis and look at things the way that like, people of a higher IQ are able to process the world. So I don't think that Gypsy knew that about him and took advantage of him about that. Nick also claimed to be, I don't know if he was self-diagnosed or if he had an actual diagnosis of being schizophrenic, but a lot of the times when Nick would engage in these promiscuous sexual acts, or like we saw being involved in this murder, basically he just said it was like someone else who would come, the voice in his head that would come up, these alter egos that would come up and like participate in these events. And so there's a lot with Nick. Nick took Gypsy's virginity when she convinced Dee Dee to take her to the movies, and Nick met them there in the movie theater, and Gypsy pretended like she had never knew him before. They got up, they went to the bathroom at the same time, and they had sex in the bathroom. So that's how Gypsy lost her, public sex was her first sexual encounter. She also talked about being sexually abused when she was younger by older men, I'm assuming in their family or by doctors or somebody. She talked about how she would go to these comic and cosplay conventions with her mom and sneak away with her wheelchair. There was one time where she disappeared for a while, left the convention completely with a much older man. I believe his name was Dan. And they didn't even talk about this. This is like one of her best kept secrets. She doesn't even mention this in the recent episode when she talks about all the men that she's been with. She leaves Dan out. And I think that that's for many different reasons involved with her case. And I don't even want to get into that. But she, had allegedly sex with him or had some kind of sexual relationship with him. And then she went to prison and she met Ken while she was in prison. Ken reached out to her first and started writing her. And so I think that, that messed with her a lot. Gypsy talks about her sexual relationships with women when she was in prison and experimenting with that. Then she meets Ryan while she's in prison. Ryan, she says, is the first guy that she traditionally had sex with. But again, I don't believe that that's actually true. I think that she just wants that to be true and wants everyone to believe that, oh, the first man that I married was the guy that I really lost my virginity to. When we know it was really Nick in the bathroom. Then it was really Dan, the second guy. She really slept with that guy. And then it was on to Ryan. Now she has sex with Ken. She names all the days that her and Ken were sexually active together, how that they knew the timing of the pregnancy had to be Ken and not Ryan because of how many days she was along or whatever. And Ryan still just thought like, hey, there was like 10% that I could still, So I believe that Gypsy is a freak. And I think Ryan was like addicted to probably having sex with her too, because we saw Gypsy take the Plan B last season on camera because her and Ryan were not using protection and having, marital sex, but still everybody just did not want Gypsy to get pregnant yet. They were like, hey girl, you haven't even been out of prison for a year yet. Like you don't even know what it's like to be an adult in this world with social media, with this newfound fame, everything. Like, can we pump the brakes a little bit? But no. So anyways, now her and Ken are going on their baby moon that she completely pays and plans. And Ken is coming off more and more each episode to me kind of like a Slade Smiley. Like, hey, I love my woman, even though he really acts like he freaking hates her. But he has this one scene where he like lifts her onto the bed and lays her down and like is kissing her belly where the baby is. Like, it really grossed me out. I can't explain it. Like, there's just something very, very inauthentic about the way that he chooses his moments to like give her affection, and then the amount of time that he actually berates her and talks condescending to her. So I'm not buying it, Ken. Plus all of the other rumors of his sexuality, which I know it's all a spectrum, but I think that he is leaning. Okay, so anyways, Gypsy in this most recent episode is taking him on the baby moon, and she wants to go buy lingerie. I mean, she is 7 months pregnant. And she talks about how it's really slowed it down for them lately. Gypsy girl. Like, I don't know if she's afraid that he will leave her. I don't know if she's afraid that he will cheat on her if she's not pleasuring him sexually. I apologize for giving everybody that image and even just saying it in that tone. But yeah, Gypsy being like, I'm the one that's the freak. Like, I want to get it. Like, I want to show up for him in sexy lingerie, 7 months pregnant on our baby moon. I don't know. Maybe it's cute. I mean, I guess don't knock it till you try it. Like, until I'm pregnant, maybe I would be doing freaky shit like that too. Not trying to judge. It's just that it's Gypsy. And it really bothered me that she tried to pretend like she's only had sex one time, like with her last husband. Girl, we know you a freak. Okay, next headline. Okay, there is a headline here about Married to Medicine and the explosive fight between Quad and Dr. Simone. Okay, so I have been a Married to Medicine season watcher since season 1. I believe this is the 11th season. I've been on this bus with these ladies for a long time. It's a very consistent but slow kind of show. The cast has been almost the exact same since season 1, which I really tip my hat to. The women aren't really doing like a lot for me anymore. It seems kind of like overproduced, the storylines. They're all like, Toy had the baby shower for the Birkin. Dr. Simone's having to clean up the son's apartment. Dr. Heavenly, making sure that her son carries on the Dr. Heavenly Smiles clinic and he's going to school. Quad and King and Dr. Eugene, and now he's with Sweet Tea. I mean, the seasons are consistent. Okay, we get it. I think that the fight between Dr. Simone and Quad, maybe it was a long time coming. They've had some resentment towards each other and they made up to get along for the season, but they didn't really resolve everything that happened from the season before, as we see in the reunion. Now, again, this season, I actually do like when the husbands are involved. I like when they're getting into the mix. I actually like it. So I'm one of the, whatever percentage of Bravo fans that enjoys the husbands. But I think, they had their own segment this reunion where it was just the husbands on the stage and all the women were back, which is where this fight erupted, was all the women in the back watching the husbands. And it's when they started to get in each other's faces and fight over what the men were saying and kind of the narratives that they were carrying along out there. I mean, this show is doing it unlike any other one. It is giving Real Housewives still for me, which is why I like the format. The cast trips, we've got the drama, we've got the big season finale events. They did not need Phaedra over there this season. I think that Bravo was just desperate, and this is what happens when they try to just listen to the fans and they see Phaedra had a great season on Traitors. We've got to get her back on Bravo. And I'm really glad that they haven't listened so far with Kate Chastain. Everybody's bring Kate back, put her somewhere, have her be the host of Watch What Happens Live. As much as I enjoy her, I would like her to be in a bartender role or something. I don't want her to be the next face. Now they're doing this with Lindsay. Where are we going to put Lindsay next season? She can't leave the summer house. She's got to go on to Roni. They're going to just desperately place her somewhere on a show that she does not belong, and it's going to flop. Just bringing Phaedra back was. So, I don't know. Just unpopular opinion. Okay, we'll keep going down these reality TV headlines here. Now, we have Love is Blind stars Amber and Matt Barnett welcome their first baby, going all the way back to season 1. I love this couple. I love that they're still together. I'm happy for them that they just had a baby. We know that Cam and Lauren from season 1 are still together. They're Love is Blind's golden couple. There are successful relationships that come out of this franchise. There really is. Going down, Roni star Erin Leachy claps back at baby safety fears. If you guys all saw that TikTok that Erin made where she's holding the martini shaker and she's tell a bitch to tell a bitch I'm back. And she's holding her literal 1 week old newborn, and the baby's laying like this. Like the head is completely unsecured and unsupported. And I mean, I don't know if I speak for everybody when I say like that is one of the biggest fears when it comes to having a newborn. I realize she has 4 kids, but it's like accidents do happen. Spinal thing with the head with babies, it happens. Like my dog was choking yesterday and I thought she was going to die, and I'm like my life flashed before my eyes. Like there's something about just knowing when you're responsible for somebody for another life, like they can't, you have to help them. They aren't able to support themselves. I was about to do the fucking Heimlich, like on my Shih Tzu. I don't know. Like there's such a fear. So for me, thinking about having kids, especially in the next couple of years, like I have my window is closing and I've been discussing it a lot and I've been thinking about it a lot. And I'm like, I'm just so afraid. I really, truly am. Of handling a newborn. And I know that they're not that small forever, but it's like a huge fear. So I'm like dying at that. I think Erin being like, it looks worse than it was. The baby's fine. Like relax. Interesting approach. I do think the picture in the video like did look bad. It's also like, I don't know. I'm not even gonna say what I was about to say. Okay, fine, I'll say it. That like you're a brand new mom, like your baby's a week old, like and you're thinking about TikTok. Like I don't know. There's just something to me. Again, I know it's her 4th one, so I think by the 4th one you're just like, whatever, life goes on. Like you kind of just continue doing your daily shit. Like nothing changes that much. But I just think I would be in like my baby bubble and like not be out like making TikToks, being like, I'm back. Like okay, girl. I don't know, not the biggest Erin fan, but I realize that she's kind of like a necessary villain for Roni and continuing it to go. She's been hanging out with Lindsay a lot lately. Apparently they're friends. I have a feeling, yes, we are going to be seeing Lindsay and Roni. I'm actually have came to peace with it after talking a lot of shit about it, because I think she will only be a friend of, and for that reason, she won't need to show Turner and the baby. As again, they're not going to be able to film her face. They're going to have to like literally blur the baby out because Turner has said he won't sign the papers for the baby to be filmed. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be, it's going to be literally just Lindsay, which is kind of what people want anyway. And she can just talk about being a mom and living in New York. So I think we're going to see her. I'm just happy it's not Paige. I think Bravo. I think everybody's confirmed like Paige is not going to be on Roni. So thank God. Okay, continuing down our headlines, we have RH, OBH recap. The Real Houses of Beverly Hills, Dorit Kemsley addresses the PK drama, and Garcelle was in the hot seat at the reunion. So Garcelle left Beverly Hills, you guys. Like, I feel like I'm winning the lottery lately. Like, how have I gotten so lucky that got rid of Crystal, got rid of Anne-Marie, got rid of Garcelle now? Like, we're cleaning house over there. Like, we got to get rid of some of these ladies. I want them to bring back Diana Jenkins. Like, there are other housewives. Like, remember Diana and Asher? Like, I'm obsessed with Asher, her boyfriend. Like, what was up with him? Like, I needed kind of like her to come back. I think that Dorit, people are so annoyed that she came out on top this season. She beat out Sutton. She beat out Garcelle. She beat out Kyle even. Like, people cannot handle it. I'm sorry. I've been a Dorit apologist for so many years and I love it. I just like am gloating. I'm glowing right now at the fact that I was fucking right. I was fucking right about Dorit. I was right about some of these other boring ass ladies getting fired. Now, one thing I'm very unhappy about is the way Erika Jayne's been acting. Like, what the fuck is up with her? The Marco thing that she refuses to pay the designers and said that they stole her money when they tried to charge her credit card for all of the costumes that she wouldn't pay for. Fucking over her. I'm mad at her not giving credit to the new designer that designed the dress for the reunion. I'm really pissed about that. Her saying it's some random designer. And now her third strike is the Brooke Candy and the song that she did the feature on for the film Honora, that won Best Picture that I also loved, Honora. That would be my whole personality, that movie if I was like 21 when that came out. I would become a stripper 1000% if I would have saw Honora when I was young enough to be one. So I just can't with Erika Jayne right now. I'm going to need her to get her fucking shit together. I don't think she's going anywhere. So I'm going to need her to come correct next season. Kyle, I'm sick of the Kyle Richards show. If you asked me like 6 weeks ago, I was 1000% sure that Kyle was quitting the season. And now I'm 1000% sure that that bitch ain't going nowhere either. Why is she's driving me crazy not admitting to any of the Morgan stuff. I understand what she's saying. Little Portia. She doesn't want Portia's life getting fucked up because Kyle decided to come out with Morgan. I understand that. But then she can't be on the show. Fine. Like when she said, oh, I would never put exposing or hurting one of the people that I love for the TV show, for the fans, for a paycheck, all this stuff, very commendable. But then you can't be a reality TV star, babe. If you're saying I'm not going to share my life for a paycheck, that's what this is. So we're going to need you to excuse yourself because they'll never fire you. Like, can you please be like, hey, I'm taking a gap year. I'm going to Europe with Morgan. Please put us out of our misery for like just 1 year and just see what the dynamics would be like if you left. Leave Kathy on the show. And then we can have Kyle like check in with Kathy. Next headline, please. Shep Rose shades Paige DeSorbo for being MIA during Craig Conover romance. So Shep's had a lot to say about Paige recently, and I'm kind of like loving it because as we know, Summer House has been talking so much shit about Craig. Sierra's had her fucking foot on his neck. It's like, girl, she just transferred that energy. She just transfers the energy. It's was Luke, then it was Austin, and then it was West, and now she's giving the same smoke to Craig. It's like, please, have several seats, please. It's like what Gabby does for Carl. Like, you weren't with him. It wasn't your relationship. And they're nice to you. Like, Craig was so nice to Sierra, and so was Carl to Gabby. He still is, for no reason. She does not deserve that. But whatever. I kind of like that somebody came to Craig's defense a little bit. I mean, I've not been the biggest Paige fan lately. Of course, I will always give flowers to a girl that's killing it in her professional life. Professionally, Paige is murdering it. She's killing it. Book tours, Jimmy Kimmel, fucking Complex magazine. I don't know, whatever the hell else she's doing for this. Okay, you guys, the book is bullshit. I'm sorry. How to giggle. I don't know. To me, this is giving like a cash grab. This is giving ghostwriting. This is giving picture book, child's book. I don't know. There's something about How to Giggle by Hannah and Paige that like, I'm good. I'm just good. Giggly Squad is enough. So I think they kind of just made this book so that they could have a tour. They made this book so they could capitalize off their popularity right now. I mean, whatever. Grab that bag. But I'm just not going to pretend like this is some like Art of War, I don't know, book that they put out that's going to just change how like psychologically everybody lives their lives. Like it's just not. So Shep Rose shading Paige for not being around because of all these professional endeavors that she has. Like I do agree, like you make time for the man you love, the woman you love, whoever you choose to love, you make time. You make the time. And it's for her to just blame it on being busy. She should have just been honest from the beginning that she was not prioritizing the relationship. And that's why Craig was like, hey, I want to make sure that like when you go on tour, you're still prioritizing making time to see me. And instead her being like, he doesn't want me to be successful. No, he was literally saying, go out on tour, live your life, but make sure you don't forget about me. And it'd be great if you could tell me if I'm going to see you in a month. Is it going to be 2 months? Is it going to be 3 months? Let a guy know. So I'm not buying this whole narrative that Craig was some like secret demon trying to take like food out of her mouth. I just don't think that was it. Also, when she's like, oh, if you told me that we would have to have a baby right now, like you would have to leave the relationship, we'd have to break up today. He actually never said that. It was more about, I would say getting married was more pressure. She should have said, if you're trying to get married today, we're going to break up. Not have a kid. Like the kid thing was so far down the pipeline for them. I think he really just wanted to be engaged and know whether or not they were going to be together forever. Him buying the ring, like I think this is what happened. This is my guess, allegedly, is that Craig only put a deposit in to have a ring made and that he went through the plans and he put in the deposit. I don't think the ring was ever manufactured. So I think that he went to Paige and was like, I bought you a ring. And that's when Paige was like, nah, I'm good, dog. Like, I don't want it. And then he probably was like, okay, I can still get my deposit, or I can't get my deposit back, or maybe, or something like that. Now, him making up the thing that he had to return the ring the same day as the reunion, everyone's like, oh, how convenient. It actually would have made sense because if he's in New York, he has to be in New York to return the ring. So they're like, why didn't he do it earlier? It's like, because you have to fucking be in New York, and he wasn't there since the last time he done Watch What Happens Live or whatever, which was right when they had broken up. So I actually somewhat kind of believe, I know Craig is a liar, but like there's something around the ring where like I do believe the ring existed to a certain extent. I do believe that. But I'm just sick of all these excuses Paige is making. Like, oh, we have to like hate men because it's like this, or we have to hate Craig because of this. It's like, why can't we just be like, hey, didn't work out for us. I hit a peak in my career. He really wanted to settle down. I don't understand where like all of the additional problems have to come from. Like, I don't think any of this other drama, no one cheated, he wasn't texting other bitches. Just like with Craig and Lindsay, with the kickball and the Lil of it all. When Gabby goes and is like, oh, Lil said that she slid into his DMs last summer, or that she met him last summer. That's actually not what was said. Like, there is some telephone twistiness going on here. It's actually not what she said. I think she just said that her parents had actually met him back last summer. And she obviously didn't slide into the DMs till like months later. She posted the screenshot. So it's very, very confusing how things can get so twisted. And now we're going to have to watch on tonight's episode of Summer House how Lindsay's going to call Carl out for being a cheater. And it's like, he didn't though. He didn't cheat. Just like how Craig didn't come for your career. You're just truly villainizing them. You're totally trying to get the audience to like see some kind of perspective. I think there's like 1% truth of it, and then the other 99% of it is exaggerated. So yeah. Okay, next headline. Summer House stars Jesse Solomon and Wes Wilson unpack latest drama, hookups, and more. So Jesse totally got the D sucked, right? Like between us squirrel friends, right? Like 37 minutes. He took his socks off. I think he joined in on the foursome. I'm officially, allegedly, don't come for me, Jesse Solomon. I think he participated. Now, what the fuck is up with everybody saying? I really need to know what people are thinking when they say Jesse Solomon and Paige should now be together. Okay, Craig was too much of a fuckboy for you guys, but we support Jesse Solomon being with Paige. I don't understand how Amanda and Sierra and they ride so hard for Jesse when he clearly is everything that they don't stand for. And what is the issue with Lexi? It's got to be jealousy. They're just mad that she hooked up with Brooklyn Beckham. I mean, me too, but you don't think I'm not going to meet Lexi and be like, hey girl, you're iconic. Let's be friends. I don't understand why they wouldn't actually try to be friends with her. She obviously is well connected and has a very good career. She's well known. Collaborating with her is smart. Like, if you want to be a freaking influencer, hello, work with Lexi. I like that she's close with her family. I am obsessed with the fact that they live together, they work together. They're like a little like Partridge Family, Brady Bunch, whatever. I love it. I'm so confused what the dislike is about her. I really do not get it. And I like Bailey too. I talked about how I met her in the bathroom at that Summer House filming event. She was very sweet. I'm not surprised. I think it's insane that Amanda got her fired, and I don't know why they're not showing it. It's clear to me that I think Amanda's the meanest. I think Amanda is the meanest. I think behind closed doors, like, I don't see her having any other girlfriends. Same with Paige, same with Sierra, which is why the three of them get along. I don't know. There's something going on back there for her to be like so pressed that Bailey lied about having a boyfriend or like a situationship or whatever when she entered the house to get the girl fired. And they don't even show us the storyline. It must have been that bad. Like, producers must be like, we cannot like have another, like, we need to give Amanda and Kyle the good edit this season. Like, they've had enough. Not that I think Kyle's necessarily getting a good edit, but I just love my Cookie Monster. Jeez, I'm into West. I'm going to play trivia with West actually on the 22nd. So 2 weeks from yesterday, I will be at an event here in New York that West will be hosting a trivia night. And I'm going to be going to play some trivia, and I hope it's Bravo trivia. I don't know what kind of trivia we're even going to be playing, but I'm hoping Jesse shows up. I'm sure he will. I'm hoping we get some other representatives from the Summer House there. And could this be the moment, you guys? Like, can we all manifest a moment right now? This is going to be how I get myself invited to the Summer House this season. It's time. I have some plans. I have some things that are going to unfold if I do make it to the house, and we've got to make this happen. So let's all just take a little moment right now. Amanda's going to get to the Summer House this year. Amanda's going to get to the Summer House this year. It's happening. It's happening. It's all happening. Speaking of it's all happening, we have the Valley premiering on Tuesday. Less than a week, we will have The Valley back on our screens. Now, today, this headline's not from Page 6, but I saw on People magazine, that Brittany Roughton Hill, that she is now coming out with the official diagnosis that Cruz is autistic and on the autism spectrum. And she's finally admitting it. So that's really good. I was really, really worried for a long time that Jax and Brittany were in denial because I grew up with a brother on the spectrum, and my parents, I don't want to say my mom was in denial. My dad definitely was because he was the firstborn son. Like, I have an older sister, then it's me, and then it was my brother. And, he actually has Asperger's, but they don't call it that anymore. Actually, they do just call it autism. Again, now Asperger's has been kind of discontinued as a label because of the founder, Mr. Asperger. He is very problematic. So my brother's on the spectrum. My parents were also in denial. They thought that he needed special education. They thought that he had a speech problem. He went to speech pathologists. Like, he was born in 1989. So like, it was just in the 80s, in the early 90s, autism really wasn't like a thing yet. So because my brother and nobody knew what was going on with him for so long, and he went untreated and was not able to get like the proper counseling or diagnosis until he was an adult, it really affected how he grew up and just how everybody in our family is able to like look at him, because we didn't know for so long. And I was really afraid about that with Cruz, like that he would go undiagnosed, that it would kind of be like, without being diagnosed, you can't get the proper counseling and the proper treatment. So it kind of just really holds you back in life to not have an autism diagnosis if you are autistic. And I'm just really happy. I'm really happy that they weren't in denial. I'm happy that they got the diagnosis. They're getting him the right treatment now. I'm hoping that he'll be able to make huge strides in his milestones and be able to start speaking and be able to start living as he gets older in what is his normal life. So I'm just sad about that, but also happy that they are confronting this head on, and that Sherry and Brittany aren't just sitting around being like, oh, he's fine, like kind of like with Gypsy, where it's like, she's a little slow. It's like, no, there's a chromosome missing here. Like, this is a real problem. So, okay. And speaking of that, let's end this episode on just one more reality TV. No, I watched all 7 episodes of the new season on Netflix of Love on the Spectrum, one of my favorite shows. I am obsessed with this show. I watched the non-US version, and then when they started the US version, it was just perfection. Danny, Connor, Tanner, James, they're all back. All the heavy hitters are back. Abby and David. We got introduced to Pari this season, who I love. Perry, my little tea princess. She lives in Boston. She loves riding the MBTA. And when I lived in Chicago, it was the CTA, like the Transit Authority. And she lives in the Massachusetts, Boston, right? Like, I think it's Boston Transportation Authority, whatever. She loves trains. She gets her little girlfriend, Tina, and they go out on little dates. They be kissing in the garden. Then we had Madison, who also got introduced to us with Tyler, her country sweetheart. I am obsessed with them. And the fact that they're so physical and like are constantly making out in front of everybody, it makes me so uncomfortable, but it also like makes me so happy for her. I love them. I think that they're like my favorite couple now, even over Abby and David, who Abby was cracking me up all season. They go wine tasting. Like, what is Abby doing wine tasting? David, he just drinks milk and he's like pretending to do the wine. Then she sings him that custom song that she made him for the anniversary. Abby's singing voice is beautiful. Not a dry eye in the house. I loved them. The one, like, let's do a mini LOL moment of the week right now. I was dying laughing when Abby and David were on the boat and her hair was blowing over her face. And she was like, I look like Sia right now. Like, don't I look like Sia the singer? And she's just like sitting there and she's like, Abby, just the way that her mind works is amazing. Then we have James getting his first girlfriend. And a lot of people are like giving hate to James online right now because he's got such strong viewpoints, which are positive and are very socially liberal towards women and their rights to their own bodies. So he is a feminist icon, and I think everybody that's giving him hate for talking so much about what women do with their bodies can fuck off. I love him. He's so funny. The way that he hates children and dogs, and how every woman that he's like, did I hear a dog in the background when I was speaking to you on the phone? Like, I cannot date you if you have a dog. Like, he's petrified. I love him. I was loving Connor and Georgie this season. What a beautiful love story. I hope that they're still together. She is so sweet, and there's something so soothing about her voice. Like, I love Georgie. She is sweet as freaking sugar. Tanner, even Tanner. I mean, did you guys see that viral video going around of Jack Black surprising Tanner on the Kelly Clarkson show? Tanner is such a little Pooh Bear sweetheart. I love him so much. And him going on so many dates with little Callie. I'm following Callie on TikTok now. A couple of the people I'm able to follow. Some of them, they're just like, no, I don't enjoy their content necessarily. I just like them on the show. But Callie, oh my gosh, Callie and Tanner, even though they just remain friends still this day, I think that they still see each other. I'm not sure Tanner is truly like, you know, I love Tanner too, how he lives in his like community housing with the two guys with Downs. Oh my God. This freaking show. I don't know if I forgot anybody, but I'm obsessed with this season. Please go watch. I'm sorry if I gave you guys spoilers, but I watched all 7 episodes in 24 hours. Go watch. It will change your life if you haven't seen Love on the Spectrum. Make sure you're watching Gypsy. I caught up with Teen Mom and stuff, but we'll talk about that maybe next episode. I just wanted to run through those headlines and do my first test of recording on my new laptop. So thank you all for being here. Thank you for joining me for another episode, and make sure you're all staying tuned, like I said, for the future developments of Bella Talks TV. Make sure you're following me. Make sure you leave me a review and a nice 5-star rating for your girl, and I will keep you guys posted on my house hunt and all the things coming up in the future for me. Okay, talk to you later. Bye guys. Ciao, Bellas.